saw it at the top of this newscast. Michigan native Mitt Romney accepting the Republican nomination for president tonight with a vow to restore the promise of America.
So how is this speech playing on both sides of the political aisle? Joining us tonight is Republican Mike Bishop from Rochester, a candidate for Oakland County prosecutor and former state Senate Majority Leader.
Also with us is Democratic Congressman Gary Peters, who's running for re-election in this newly drawn 14th Congressional District. Gentlemen, thank you for taking the time tonight. And I think we can start off with one agreement. The whole Clint Eastwood thing was a little odd, especially for a national convention.
Very odd, very unscripted and awkward.
It was supposed to be a big surprise, but...
Yeah, I think it fell flat. I thought that shouldn't have been a part, particularly when you only have an hour of primetime TV for the nation. That was the wrong way to start it.
All right, now we'll get into the good stuff here.
So let's talk about Mitt Romney. Did he get the job done? A lot of talk about family, about faith, and about building businesses from the ground up. So do people know him better tonight?
I think it was a home run. For those of us that know Mitt Romney and the family, because he's from Michigan, it was kind of a replay of what we've heard in the past. But for those that don't know him, who've never heard the story, I think it was fantastic. I thought the way he presented it, the way he was very emotional, he was very candid, sincere throughout the whole thing. I think it was very believable, and I really enjoyed the speech.
I'm guessing Congressman Peters didn't fully believe it.
Certainly he tried to personalize basically his standard stump speech. I think we've heard what he said tonight. We've heard it over and over again through the primary season and now. I think part of it, to me, is disingenuous. As someone from Michigan, those of us watching this program tonight or watching it, he talked about his Michigan roots and how he was going to grow up to be a car guy. And yet when the auto industry really needed help, he wasn't there. In fact, he would have let the auto industry disappear. President Obama did a very courageous thing, took on an awful lot of pressure to stand up for the auto industry to make sure that that loan money was available, and now it's been an incredible success story. So to talk about his roots from being a Michigander and yet not being there when we really needed him, I thought certainly fell very flat for me.
Especially with all of the talk about the auto industry, why do you think the race is tightening so much, especially here in Michigan? He looked into that camera and said he's not going to raise taxes on the middle class, a big issue here in Michigan, as well as the auto industry, but still the race is tightening.
I think it's a sincerity thing. I think it's a believability thing. Mitt Romney has presented a plan that is believable. People know that he's a successful business guy. They believe in him as a leader. I thought he looked very presidential tonight. I thought the way he walked out, it looked like the State of the Union address. It gave that same aura. He looked very presidential tonight. He was very believable, and I think that's what will close this gap and will ultimately deliver him to the White House.
In both conventions, obviously, you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the people who are going to vote for you anyway. So what they're trying to do is reach out to those people who are either sitting on the fence or maybe don't even plan to vote for you. Did Mr. Romney manage to sway anybody who may have been sitting on the fence, or did he sway anybody who already thought maybe they're going to vote for Mr. Obama again?
Well, you know, I don't think he swayed anybody. I mean, we heard the basic stump speech, as I mentioned already. And I think you've got to cut through the rhetoric. I mean, this is a lot of rhetoric, a lot of flowery language, but if you really look at the proposals that he is talking about, it's no different than what we've seen in the past. It's no different than the policies that put our economy into a tailspin. You know, I remember very vividly coming into Congress in 2009 with President Obama when he was being sworn in as the president, and it was a frightening time. This country, we were losing over 700,000 jobs a month, were disappearing. Wall Street had collapsed. The auto industry was on the verge of collapse. That is what we were walking into, and what Mr. Romney wants to do is take us back to those policies. The American people don't want to go back. We need to remind folks of where we've been and where we're going. We've had a situation where 4.5 million jobs have been created in the Obama administration, 29 months of consecutive job growth. We've got to continue that, move forward.
Quick answer, what would you give him, A to D? A to D, what would you give him?
I'd give him C minus D plus.
Oh, that's harsh.
Mr. Bishop?
I'd give him an A. I thought it was a fantastic speech.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate you both.